Everybody here already voted?
Oh my goodness. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
More news on Fraudgate, or the fraud in chief, the cackler in chief, however you want to refer to her. And this time, it was by an ally network. CNN, often quoted as being DNN, Disinformation News Network, actually called out Kamala the cackler for being the complete fraud that you and I both know she most certainly is. Check this out. I'm going to play for you this video. CNN catching Kamala red-handed, posting ads in two separate districts, one supporting Israel and then one supporting Palestine. Check this out.
Tonight, mixed messages. A K-file investigation this hour finds Kamala Harris is targeting crucial battleground voters with vastly different messages on Gaza and Israel. This ad is running in Michigan, which has the largest Arab population in America.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 9 months is devastating. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent.
All right, well, it's a very different story for an ad in Pennsylvania targeting Jewish voters.
Let me be clear. I will always stand up for Israel's right to defend itself, and I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7.
Different message. Andrew Kaczynski is out front now. So, Andrew, those obviously do sound starkly different, to say the least. Tell me more about what you found.
Yeah, that's right. And look, this really illustrates the sort of fine line that the Harris campaign is trying to walk here in the closing weeks, closing days of this campaign on the issue of Israel. Here you have two entirely different constituencies, and they are getting two entirely different messages. There are often times these constituencies have very opposing views on this. If you are a Jewish person in Pennsylvania, you saw that ad that you're getting. You are getting that ad that talks about how strong she is in Israel. If you're a Muslim voter in Michigan, you are getting that ad on Facebook that's talking about how she won't be silent on the issue of Gaza. Now, what's really interesting here is that ad that we just played, the one that's going to Jewish voters in Pennsylvania. Now, it sort of sounds like those two clips of her talking about Israel are together, but they actually cut part of it out. Take a listen to what they cut.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 10 months is devastating. President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza
Why
ends,
haven't you
and
done
the
it?
Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
And you've seen too that they cut out that portion of the ad where they talked about Gaza from her DNC speech. Those two parts were together. They sliced them. They cut that part out. Now, look, she's also getting hammered a lot on this issue by Republicans. We talked just a couple days ago about how those robocalls were airing in Wisconsin that are made to sound like they're in support of Jill Stein, talking about her position on Gaza, saying that they're highlighting her pro-Israel position, and they're sort of trying to siphon those votes away from her. So this is a really delicate issue for her.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination are being cut out. It's important to notice that.
Two separate ads targeting two separate demographics with two complete 180 contrasting positions and messages. She panders to anybody who's in front of her, whatever demographic is in front of her, ethnicity, what have you, gender, etc. She has how many? 11 now? 12 fake accents. She just recently had a Martin Luther King church now accent that she has. She declined the Joe Rogan podcast. I've said this many, many times. I think that is a nail in the coffin, especially since we see Trump's interview with Rogan exceed over 100 million views versus her one podcast with the Call Her Daddy, which is a very expletive, almost trashy kind of podcast, It only has 700,000. It's been up for 2 weeks. 100 million views a couple of days, 700,000 on the Call Her Daddy podcast. Wow. If that's not an election right there, I don't know what is. She flip-flops on everything. First she was opposed to fracking. Now, hey, let's frack. First she was opposed to the wall, even calling Donald Trump, saying that Mexico was going to pay for it and he was going to build a wall, a silly project that means nothing, and it's child's play. Now she's for the border. No tax on tips. She completely stole that from Trump. And now she just recently went on SNL and literally, I posted this on X. By the way, follow me on X. I'm Professor Nez everywhere, but I post a lot of stuff. It's literally the last bastion of free speech in the online ecosystem. You got to follow me on X. Word for word, the entire skit was a complete knockoff of Trump's skit that he did with Jimmy Fallon years ago. And to top it all off, my fellow Americans, Nez Nation, the cherry on the top, the creme de la creme. Not only has she declined to go on major podcasts like Joe Rogan, I've called Joe Rogan the Johnny Carson of the 21st century. Whether you know it, like it, or believe it, it's a fact. His reach, his influence is the entire network cable division combined. He reaches more people. Her declining of that is absolutely monumental. We are literally, my fellow Americans, 2 days away from the election, and Kamala has yet to give a full, unrehearsed, unpremeditated, no teleprompter, no script press conference, taking actual real questions from the press corps, from a diverse set of network stations, backgrounds, and perspectives. She hasn't done one. Not a one. Zero. Nada. Goose egg. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Hasta la pasta. What does that tell you? You have the character of one candidate who actually took a bullet for democracy, who's actually proven through a track record, actually already having been president, that he will make everybody prosper. And I promise you, with every molecule in my body, we will all prosper again. If he wins, please vote accordingly. And then you have somebody who declines hardball interviews, went on Brett Baier Fox News and walked off, her team frantically waving to stop it. As soon as Brett Baier starts talking about geopolitical issues, major global affairs such as Israel, Hamas, and the entire Middle East region, which is in bedlam right now, that should tell you everything. She's unclear. She has no message other than joy, other than turn the new page, a new way forward, which means absolutely nothing because she was the previous way. It makes no sense. She has no conviction. She has no morals, no principles, no values. More importantly, she has no policy. She has no stance. How on earth can we expect her to engage with fierce, tough, tried and true, proven leaders have shown their tenaciousness in multi-forms, even in nefarious ways as well, like the Ayatollahs? How are we going to have her negotiate with the Ayatollahs? How about Vladimir Putin? How about Xi Jinping of China? How about Kim Jong-un from North Korea? Are you kidding me right now? She can't even handle a 3-hour podcast with Joe Rogan. We're going to expect her to negotiate on our behalf on the world stage with some of the fiercest leaders this world has ever seen? You can't be serious. By the way, we're just a few days out. I would love it, love it, love it if you could leave a comment down below and just let me know that you voted. It can even just be an emoji like a thumbs up. You don't have to tell me who you voted for unless you want to. It would make me very happy as a proud patriot, father, husband, something that I feel is a sacred civic sovereignty duty obligation that we have as American citizens. Just let me know that you voted in the comments down below. And also let me know what you think of everything that we just talked about in this video about the ultimate phony, the phony in chief, the cackler, Kamala. She's impossible. We cannot have her running our country. Listen to Professor Nez, quite frankly, probably the greatest YouTube channel. He knows what he's talking about. He's not nasty like Kamala. He's a smart guy. Smart guy. I listen to him a lot. You gotta subscribe to Professor Nez. Thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate you and I love you so much. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Tap my face right there. Listen to the president. You don't want to not listen to the president. Tap my face, subscribe. It's free. In the pinned comment is our free newsletter. Sign up for it. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.